Hey everybody, welcome to your monthly love reading, collective love reading. Now this is not a personal love reading, obviously. Those you would get through ordering either a 20-minute video or a remote session with me. And the 20-minute videos should be opening up within a matter of weeks, but aren't available right now. But the remote readings are always available. And I even have some new times available, so you might want to check that out. For those of you who've been waiting for a long time for your remote reading, you might be able to get a sooner time if you go into reschedule. And you can do that by going to amysatori.com/account/login, and that should do the trick. So, okay. I'm taking a look at these cards with you. And, I pulled some cards to kind of be like the theme. One of them I'm going to have to read to you. Interesting. Okay. All that you are. Archangel Muriel pops up. So let's read that and see what that's about. All that you are. How are you guys? Are you hanging in there? Okay. Almost there. Here we go. You have the ability to access new information at this time. It is by allowing yourself the freedom to explore the realm within, to explore your inner sacred space while remaining open to what you find that your gifts can fully manifest. Your power is awakened, and as you consciously walk the path of love, it is able to be accessed by you in every moment, with conscious choice, through awareness, evaluating your mental patterns and constructs of thought, asking, is this moving me in the direction of increased love? Oh, that's a good one. If not, release fear, for if you are not moving if you're not moving towards love, you're moving towards fear. So true. Release the fear into the light and return to the heart-centered space of awareness and of knowing that you are divine, that you are so loved, that you are connected directly to the divine, to the angelic realms, and to all that is. I call that God, G-O-D. Feel this group of deities. Feel this now, experience this now, see this now, witness this now, and return to the realization often as you can. Maybe put it on your mirror on a Post-it note. For when you witness your divinity, you blossom in the power of love, awakening the full extent of your gift to access the new, to embrace the change, and to make a difference for the highest good. And so it is. And that is such a beautiful card. So the masculines, meaning the ones who have been running away from love, looks like they're going inside for their information, which is the pure source of the best information you can possibly get is from the heavenly realms. So they're going within and reflecting and coming up with some ultimate truths. Now that right there is Four of Swords energy. The Four of Swords is all about like re-evaluating all of your relationships and taking a look at what truly serves you, what is healthy for you, what encourages you, what supports you, who also, and ultimately healing yourself so that you can let in more love. That is leading them to keeping an open mind and forgiving and learning. So it looks like they're doing a lot of healing in February. And I think that keeping an open mind is actually considering your feelings, feminines. They're forgiving themselves so that they can ask forgiveness from you, because they've been held back for quite some time, feeling guilty about some things that have conspired in your relationship. And the angels have been nurturing and nudging them just like in the picture, like, it's okay, just love yourself and you'll let this love in, you know? And he looks almost like numb. She's bawling her eyes out and crying, and it's like he knows that that's what she's been going through for him. And he's just like, he just feels so bad. It's like, I don't even know what to do. I can't even, like, their biggest fear is to, you know, have to fess up to you all that's been going on, and to tell you, you know, it's the big reveal, the big reveal, the big moment that there's an apology, and, you know, we see it in every romantic comedy as well, when he finally says, you know what, I thought this was going on and I was wrong, and I realized that I hate the way I treated you. I can't believe I was even looking at it that way, and it makes me so angry. But that's the most beautiful moment, because then the divine feminine can step up and say, you know what? It's water under the bridge. It doesn't even matter. You know, it's who you've become as a result of that even matters. There is no past and there is no future. There's just us here now sharing this moment and being vulnerable with each other. So there's no reason to beat ourselves up at all. And when we learn to have that kind of grace for ourselves, and a lot of you feminines have been listening to me for a while, and you're putting your hand on your heart and you're saying, I love you. When you're stressed out and freaking out and whatever else, it's like, I love you. I got you. And I think that the masculines are starting to love themselves that way, and it's enabling them to see you through different eyes of compassion and understanding. And they know that when they come talk to you, they can actually, it's not going to be like they're afraid of, you know, it's going to be like, okay, I'm open to hearing you out. Here's the coward I was, and here's why I did what I did, you know, like that big brave moment of finally letting it out and confessing. And then you guys will be able to just be the grace, both of you be the grace for each other. And he can really just be a good listener also, like let all that out, and then let you have a good cry, let you be mad, let you go through whatever you got to go through, and just hold you, listen to you, validate your feelings. If both of you are doing this for yourselves, then it's a lot easier to do this for the other person. And I think that's one of the reasons the masculines have been, I just saw looking under the sheets. That's interesting. Looking under the sheets. Maybe just looking deeper, you know, looking deeper into things, looking at themselves, going past the aesthetics, they just said, going past how things look and getting more in touch with how things feel, how things make them feel, to be around and to be a part of. And they're interested. They're in the picture, he's eagerly looking forward, listening. And Cupid's, you know, all these angels, Cupid's and, you know, the other angels are overseeing the whole thing, making sure it all goes well and keeping things lighthearted. Now, I feel like they're also healing the past with that all that you are card. They've really gone within it. Maybe you looked at all the relationships they've ever had, and maybe they think they have a type or used to have a type, you know, or maybe they've always had this idea that when they were going to grow up, they were going to marry somebody like this. Like maybe their family always told them, you're going to be, you know, with somebody in our religion or in our, you know, group or in whatever it is. You had your like ideal. Maybe you had that ideal your whole life and you were so excited, not even realizing the only reason you were even excited about it was because your parents were so excited about it, or your best friend thought that's what you deserved, or, you know, sometimes we don't realize that we're not actually living our own truth in our own life. So I feel like your masculine is just doing a lot of you know, not everybody's masculines, but those that resonate with this message are just really doing some deeper reflection throughout their whole lives. And they're coming to the conclusion that, you know what, I've tried all these other things. I've had my type. I've tried this, I've tried that. why not try something that actually makes my heart, I just heard purr, makes my heart purr, I guess. It's not going to be for all of you. But he really, he's really like all about the heart now. He's trying to really drop into the heart because he knows it's about to be that moment that you guys have that talk. And he's kind of, I just got manning up. He's kind of manning up and kind of growing up and maturing. And he really wants to be there for you. He really wants to appreciate you for who you are and not play games with your head and, be serious about this. I mean, he feels very serious, like, I don't know, like more serious than he's ever been with anybody. And I don't mean serious like not fun. Like serious, like I want to marry you and I want this to last. And I want it to last the rest of our lives. So I'm really thinking about how I can put myself in a mind space that can actually truly happen, and that can actually be. I don't want another relationship that ends. I don't want another relationship that just lasts a few years, just like a job or something. I want something that can last forever. And if I'm going to have that, then I got to change some things and shift my perspective. And I've got to bring balance and justice to the situation. Okay, so this brings me to the cards. These are the cards I pulled. And it's funny that this is what spurred me to say that, is the bottom of the deck is justice. Now the bottom of the deck is the theme for the whole thing. So with the cards that we pulled first as the theme, we've got forgiveness and open mind and like going within for your answers. So with the theme here being justice, is like I said, like he knows that he had to do all this kind of maturing and growing up so he could take this leap of faith and make things right by you. But also, if you look at the justice card, I mean, she looks like, I'm assuming that's a girl, but it could be a guy, I guess, with long hair. But we'll just say she, I guess. Whoever this is holding up a sword of truth. And they're cloaked in red, which is passion. And behind them is spirituality. And behind them is yellow for new beginnings and creativity. So in blue, in the crown, is for truth and clarity and communication. So he has been, speaking with spirit to gain clarity. He's got the green for healing, so there's healing over his shoulders. So he's not bearing the burden anymore for other people. He's healing the people pleasing. He's healing any imbalances in his life, and he's willing to speak that sort of truth and do what's right, no matter what. And when I picked the card up, underneath it is the, wow, 3 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. So it could be people pleasing third parties, having all these lovers to choose from, and not choosing the one anymore that he has to people please. He's figuring out a way to feel proud of himself and finally get over some of these unhealthy habits that have been imbalanced, where one person is giving more than the other. One person is trying to appease the other person all the time, and the other's really not doing a thing for the masculines, So he wants to apologize. He's a little nervous as to what to say, but he's trying to come up with something that will just finally close the door on the last chapter for you guys, the painful chapter where he betrayed you and left you for dead, or at least it felt like it. You were like, he hasn't called, he hasn't written me or texted me in forever. I don't even know if he's alive anymore, practically. I mean, dead. And it may have been because of a child matter, or partially because of a child matter, because we've got those 2 pages, which are children or about children. It could also I mean, quite honestly, we deal with celebrities on this channel too, so it could very well have to do with, because we have courts and children here, it could actually have to do with, what goes on in Hollywood behind the scenes. Maybe they're just very ashamed to have to admit certain things, or maybe they've just had some kind of involvement in that. Maybe they've been in the courts dealing with things with children, but they're basically... in his heart space, he's wanting... both of those cards in his heart space are spying, which is really interesting. It's that gathering more information. So he's put you up on a pedestal, and that's one thing that has been an imbalance for you guys, because he's not seeing himself as capable of being your equal. And that's really a shame, and it's been burdening him, and it's been keeping you guys apart and separated. And it's just his attitude that he's choosing to have, and he's starting to realize all those thoughts that have been burdening him, because it hasn't been you, and it hasn't actually been reality. Probably his best friend is like, oh my God, you're perfect for her, or him, because it's not a gender thing. So, and he's been burdening himself. But look at that, the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. The 10 is the end of it. All those swords are his own thoughts. Swords represent thought. His overthinking is what betrayed him and stabbed him in the back and left him for dead. And finally, he's like picking up one sword, the Page of Swords. I may not know totally what I'm doing with this sword, but I'm just going to carry one. I'm not going to have a whole mess of swords anymore. I'm just going to gain the clarity by talking to Spirit. Even though I feel like kind of a novice at it, I'm just going to go by my truth with Spirit. And he could even be burdened by the passion, like that 10 of Wands. Those are passion. Wands are passion and creativity and stuff. So he's had a lot of passion and creativity for you, and he's just been, maybe created things for you and thrown them in the garbage, like made a poem or made a song and he threw it in the garbage. He's been weighed down by his passion for you, because it's like every single day, day in and day out, is a burden. All he does is think about you, watch you, look at your social media, look to see if there's anything new that you've sent him, and that's been a huge burden too. But look, he's willing to lay that all down. And for some of them, it could also be that they've made the relationship all about sex, and they don't want you to feel that way. They don't want you to feel that that's all that they are there for. They've really been hiding behind the sexual stuff, or the sexual comments, or the sexual innuendos, or maybe they've been pinging some sexual stuff. But they are just doing that because they are like that Page of Cups, and they really want to offer their love to you, and they don't know how to do that, so they're hiding it, like that King of Cups. The King of Cups is so madly in love with you, but it isn't telling you. He's got like this poker face on. And then the 8 of Cups is, him walking away from maybe what he thought used to be shiny to him, with that open mind he's having now, and forgiving and learning. He's enabling himself to walk away from those old shiny cups, because he's got 8 cups that he thought he had that was going to fulfill him, but it tortured him to think about those two of cups that represent true love all the time. So he thought he had everything, but then he didn't, because he couldn't get his mind off of you. So I think he did some reflecting with that 2 of Swords. He went in and listened to his intuition. He gained some knowledge there. And the 2 of Swords is also about like going within to really put yourself in the other person's shoes. So he was offering up all this passion, but it kind of felt like you could take care of yourself. You could do everything yourself. Like, what do you need him for? And that was a burden. It's like, well, that's all I have to offer. That's all I have to offer her, because she's got everything else that she needs. And they don't realize that the feminines, they just need the support. They just need the camaraderie. They just need somebody to be in their corner in life, and they just need somebody to love them and accept them and listen to their day and just show moral support, you know? And yes, they can get that from girlfriends or, you know, same-sex friends and stuff, but it's not the same as somebody who can learn about your bad stuff and still love you anyway and still want to be intimate with you and, I mean, really connected, best friends and lovers, you know. And the feminines, without that, are tempted to think about like other people, like maybe I should just date somebody, you know. They're thinking to settle. A lot of the feminines, it's like, what else am I going to do? I don't want to be alone the rest of my life. Or maybe some of them actually do have come to that conclusion, which I think is a healthy conclusion. There's nothing wrong with being alone, you know, if you can make peace with that. But if you're always striving to want to be in a relationship, then it's really disempowering to not be in one, you know? So, yeah, the masculines are walking, some of them may have been having a drinking problem as well with that Eight of Cups, could be walking away from too much drinking. Maybe he betrayed you because he was drinking too much and he gave in to his urges. But in walking away from that, I feel like it helps him, it's been helping him to believe in himself. And he's believing in himself and his ability to stand by your side and be a king, that King of Cups. He turned from a page into a king because we're progressing here into the future. So he is able to do the right thing with that Justice card and speak his truth to you and finally tell you how much he loves you and how much he looks up to you. And with that Nine of Pentacles, wants to do his own damn thing. And the Chariot card coming up here in the future, it's like, I am not going to people please anymore. And I am not going to make this relationship all about sex. And, you know, like I've done in other relationships. And I'm not going to betray you anymore. You know, he's going to come forward and he's going to heal things with you. With that Four of Swords, that's a healing card. Put things to rest, I just heard. Put things to rest. He wants to just, you know, put things in order. Those three swords on top are just, they're perfectly in their place. And that sword down below is like, you know, nothing is rattling, nothing's moving. It's all very still. And you're laying there able to have your peace. You know, both of you are able to sleep at night because you finally brought some resolution to the situation. With that Chariot, you know, the masculines finally feel like they've lined up with what it is they're here to do, which is heal things with you, because healing things with you heals their own heart in a deep, deep way. You guys are attached energetically too, so I feel, feminines, that a lot of you have been doing some deeper healing as well, a lot of reflecting as well. I feel like you've seen ways that you've even betrayed yourself. Maybe ways of communicating or ways of having childish type relationships, same sex or whatever. Like maybe you've been communicating immaturely with some people in your life, and that's maybe burdened you as well. And maybe, you know, maybe you're done being treated like a baby by certain people, or condescending, people treating you condescendingly. You're realizing your own power, and you're wanting to, you're like, you know, I'm worth more than to be treated that way and to be treated with harshness, any kind of harshness or passive aggressiveness or any kind of like negativity. It's like you're cutting it out and you're healing that within yourself that wants that. Asking yourself, why do I have these friendships or these relationships with these people that keep jabbing at me, keep making pokes at me? And you're healing that so you can go forward more balanced. So you and your masculine are going through it in different ways, but you're definitely, you know, sorting through the rubble of your life and making sense of it and putting the balance together, or making balance happen so that you can go forward unstoppably and not have to stop for gas. You know, like you've got all your supplies, you've got everything that you need. All you got to do is just get going on that road trip of your life, of the next chapter of your life. The little side note over to the left there, the Nine of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. The Nine of Wands, it can be like, overcoming feeling like a victim, or just overcoming your ego. Maybe your ego took a hit, both you and your masculine, and now that's coming to balance. And what's funny is that Two of Pentacles and the Chariot is also about like road trips. Well, Nine of Pentacles can also be travel. Someone's going to be traveling here. Not all your masculines are going to do that, but there's definitely travel energy here. So maybe you guys are going to go on a trip together. Or maybe your masculine, since this is the masculine spread, maybe the masculine is going to take a trip and come see you. But he's had to overcome some kind of an ego bruise. And maybe it is that he's finally realized that he can't live without you. He doesn't want to live without you. And maybe he's, refused to see you as more than a friend. Or maybe he, in some way, shape, or form, with that keep an open mind, maybe he's always told people, I will only be with people who are like the blah, blah, blah. And you're just not that. And so they finally are like, if I'm going to have peace in my life and I'm going to have the love that I truly want, I'm going to have to fess up. I'm just going to have to tell everybody, look, that's not my type anymore. My type now is someone who loves me from their heart. And you guys are just going to have to deal with that. I know everybody wanted me to have somebody that lived in or from my hometown or whatever. And you're going to have to say, I found somebody from across the world. And now you guys are just going to have to deal with it. So, there's some kind of an ego bruise that he's going to have to be willing to take that hit, and be made fun of or be ridiculed or, whatever he's been fearing will happen as a result of this. Like the hard time he feels like he'll be facing by giving into this love. It's balancing, and he's not going to be wobbling back and forth, making himself like sabotage himself and betray you anymore. Because now he really wants to do you right. And with those tens are very, very, I was going to say those tens are very encouraging because it's over. Whatever's been going on, it's over. And I feel like one of the things that it's over too is him just spying on you and doing nothing about it. The Chariot is like unstoppable action. Like you can't stop whatever action he's going to be coming forward with. It's unstoppable. Like no one's going to be able to do a thing about it. And I just saw Seven of Cups, the Tower, and the Star with Death. So this is big, you guys. Death and the Tower and Star and the World. Oh my gosh. It's all, like, these are all major arcana. So he's just figuring out, he's asked divine intervention to kick in and like, transform him so that he will accept this healing and blessing, and so that he can be vulnerable like he wants to be, and so he can have that deep healing with you happen to where I just saw you guys like putting your hands up on a roller coaster and being like, wee, here we go. I'm trying to think of a moment when, I guess Greece, the end of Greece, when they finally didn't care about their differences or anything. And they finally came together, and it's like we don't care. We don't care. We just want to be together. Who cares about anybody else and what they think? I also get a message for some of the celebrities that the star could heal the world. This star can heal the world. And it might be rather shocking for people to see or to hear with that tower. In that death, it could have to do with people dying. I mean, honestly, with the way things are going in our world, it could, the end of death. Because the world is the end of a chapter ending, and right next to it is the death card. So it could be that somehow somehow the star ends the cycle of death, and people are shocked and may be confused for a moment, but it's something that's necessary in order for this chapter to end and for people to get more honest and vulnerable and see the truth for what it is, and to bring that balance about to our world. Now, this is leading into, and I've said this for a long time, that whatever true love is going through, so is our world. And for the world card to come up right now, this total confirmation, and the star means that we're transforming into a bright future. It's, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so exciting. With the death card and the star card, the death is leading, that we're having the healing of death because of divine intervention kicking in and kicking the bad guys out the windows. Oh, wow. No more disillusion. That Seven of Cups, like no more disillusion, putting an end to that. Divine intervention kicks in, transforms all of this nonsense, and gives us hope and a bright future. Holy camole. Is there a camole? Probably not. One song that has been in my mind this morning is Teenage Dream. You make me feel like I'm living a teenage dream. So for maybe some of you, that might be a ping. Okay, so wow, super awesome, absolutely amazing. So I pulled, here's what I did. I made a list of everybody's love signs, everybody who has been sending me questions for my Q&As. They have been, for the last month or so, they've been giving me like signs for their person. So I'm about to, what I did is I numbered them all. And wait, no, I didn't, not that first. What I did first is I wrote down a few numbers, and then in the Excel spreadsheet that I have, the numbers weren't there, but I added them afterwards and then went back to see what the signs were that correlated to the numbers. So that way I wasn't picking anybody or anything. I hadn't even seen what anybody's signs were. Okay. So I got 6 numbers. I'm going to pull a couple cards for each of you whose signs these are. Okay. The first one is Cupid's bow. So if the sign that you sent me was Cupid's bow, here's your message. Oh, rising above, I see only beauty and grace. So again, it's like them putting themselves in your shoes and having grace. And they're able to see the beauty of it, and they're able to see, feel like they're being more positive, because that's a lotus that she's in as well. And so it's like she's rising above all the murk and the dark waters, to rise above all clean and sparkly. And I feel like he's able to see that about you too, that you've been able to rise above everything and anything, and you're so resilient, and you're bouncing right back all the time, just to be happy and cheerful again, like always. And I think that he's like astonished by your ability to rise above everything in your life. And I feel like he wants to celebrate with you. He wants to be that way too. He wants to be the one celebrating with you when you overcome things in your life, and he wants to be a contributing factor to you shining that bright, beautiful light. And he knows that you guys can rise above any circumstances headed your way. So this totally correlates with the reading as well. Awesome. Okay, so Hanks. I'm looking at the Archangel Michael cards. Focus upon divine and perfect health. Okay, so your masculine has been doing the proper healing that he needs to do. He's learning to listen to his body, I feel, intuitively. And I don't think he's done that before. Like, he's really, however, I feel like he was abusing his body. I don't know if it's through toxins or drinking or whatever. I feel like he's starting to actually care about himself and his body more, because he knows that being healthy is going to be really important for you guys to have sustenance for you guys to be able to make it for the long haul. I'm telling you guys, these guys are serious. They really want to be the man that they know you deserve. And they don't want there to be any competition. Instead of feeling like, them being all worried that, there's, I don't deserve her. Anybody else can come along anytime and be so much better than me or whatever. And she's going to see that she's bought into a lie or whatever, I feel like a lot of these masculines are rising above that. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to be that man. Whatever that is. Maybe they even wrote down a list of qualities they feel like, if I, if she were to find the perfect man, here's what he would be like. Here's, who would be my ultimate competition? Okay, now I'm going to be that guy, So I feel like he really did have to take a good look at himself and heal internally, externally, because he was being so destructive with himself and even sabotaging himself from happiness. And I feel like now he's ready. He's ready to rest and restore. He's ready for that next phase in his life where he can let the good come in. He can really let the good come in. And as I said that, I looked at his halo in the picture. So I feel like he's seeing his goodness. He's seeing his divinity, like that one card said at the beginning, all that you are. He's recognizing his divinity. And he's got some kind of a message. I feel like he's got a scroll or something in his hand. No, it's an instrument. Maybe he sees himself as being an instrument and he plans to be inspiring with that staff in his hand. And maybe play some music or do, create or speak from the heart and be an inspiration. So maybe he's changing so that he can help others to do the changing as well. That's a good motivator. I'll do it so I can help it be easier for other people to do. Okay, so that was for Hanks. The third is Country Boy, City Girl. Country Boy, City Girl. I'm drawn to the Crystal Angels cards. Prosperity. There's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. Now, isn't that funny? Because when you think prosperity, you would normally think money. But it says there's a positive shift in your flow of divine support. So, again, with him recognizing that he is divine, that he can attract divine solutions and answers, and he's been going within for those answers. And maybe it's kind of, I feel like cracked a code that he's been able to open a safe. And opening the safe makes him feel safe. He's opened the safe and it has everything that he needs. So I feel like he's recognized that he has everything that he needs within him. And cracking the code is maybe even being present in the moment and meditating. Maybe he's able to see how quickly he can manifest when he really puts his mind to it. So he's not like so much in a mentality if he was before, like I have to make a certain amount of money to impress her, or I have to be able to buy her a brand new car, or I have to be able to, like, all these standards he was setting for himself and acting like he had to be like a martyr and have to work so hard to make that happen and stuff, and he was kind of using it as an excuse. I feel like he's dropping that and he's like, as long as we have our love for each other, that's actually going to attract money. That's going to attract any solution we need. And just as long as we're together and we're healing each other, we're healing ourselves, and we're working together as a team, I think we can make anything happen. I feel he's feeling optimistic about that. And that the key lied within him, not outside of him, not in things and not in money and not in all that other superficial stuff. It's like he's realizing that if his heart is in the right place and he takes action on that, then he's going to be opening all kinds of wonderful doors of opportunity. The next one is Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh wants me to grab a Mary Magdalene card. The Resurrection. Okay, it may seem like nothing is going your way at present. A vision, plan, or dream seems to be fading beyond your reach, and this has left you feeling confused and disheartened. Yet remember that a higher force lovingly governs every event in your life. This force is the light of your soul, which is full of infinite wisdom. The disappointment you presently feel is your soul's way of helping you to reassess your plan. And then remember, we talked about that Four of Swords in the spread as well, about how they're taking a look at everything and they're just kind of putting the pieces back together of what they need and what they don't need going forward. Your dream is valid and sound, and you deserve to see it fulfilled. However, actualizing your dream may require a change of plan or approach. Check to see if the plan you have adopted truly aligns with your values and your heart. A new approach will soon become evident, an approach that will feel right in every way, so don't give up now. Keep an open mind and you will accomplish all that you have ever hoped for. New inspirations are often born in the midst of despair, and sometimes we must surrender our old ways of thinking because a new way is possible. And he's put himself in your shoes and he's ready to be resurrected and redirected. I feel like something has humbled him. Something has kind of crumbled around him in terms of what he used to see as bringing him security or safety in some way. And he's realizing, that's not it. My castle was built on sand. It's not built on concrete or rock or something really solid. It's been shifting and now it's falling apart, and I've done it to myself, is what I feel him saying. I did this to myself. But being that it's been destroyed and it's fallen to pieces around him, I mean, what a great place to be at, to be able to recreate yourself fresh and have a fresh new start. So, be praying for him to love himself. And I think the most important thing he can do right now is to validate himself. Just put his hand on his heart and just be like, of course you feel this way. It's okay. Of course you feel this way. And then what do we want to be? What and who do we want to be? How can we recreate ourselves right now? So just pray that he, thank you God so much that my masculine and I are really, really loving ourselves right now, giving ourselves that grace, validating our feelings. Thank you God that we're striving for that which truly makes us happy from the deepest parts of our hearts. Something like that. Okay. Big and small. Big and small. Let's see. Angel message. Bethany, when you take excellent care of yourself, everyone benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, a sea salt bath, or a pedicure. So, I feel like this masculine is also learning to take care of his body. I feel like he's getting more in touch with his feminine side. I feel like he's been kind of macho and been like, kind of denied certain parts of him. He's kind of compartmentalized. But I feel like he's starting to be like, you know what? Maybe I can get a massage, or maybe I can get a pedicure, and maybe I can, dress different than I normally would. Maybe I don't have to be so tough. Maybe I don't have to be, he wants to put himself in somebody else's shoes to see what that feels like. It could be your shoes, yes, or it could be, just a different type of man that he's seen that he's kind of made fun of as being sensitive. Maybe he's just thinking he wants to, just try. I feel like he's trying new things. He's trying to venture out, and it's making him more flexible. I feel like he's getting honest with himself. And I feel like he's able to give back to himself. And I also just saw him like tell somebody no. No, I'm sorry, that's not what I'm doing today. I'm nurturing myself. Today I'm taking a day off for me to just do whatever I want. And I'm not listening to anybody. Or maybe he shuts his phone off completely and just does nothing all day. And goes to the park or goes and listens to birds. Whatever he wants to do. And whatever he wants to eat, I just got. Even though this card is talking about taking care of yourself, I feel like maybe he's been kind of stringent about eating. Now, here's a little download that I got the other day, too. as we're going forward, realizing how we got duped by the Luciferians for so many years and programmed about things, you wonder why there are so many diets out there and everything, and how it's meant to confuse us, and we don't know what to eat. We don't know what kind of diet to go on. This works, that doesn't work, and all that kind of stuff. I always start thinking though, how did the Lucys teach us this, and what has been in our programming all this time, and then what would be the basic truth that's the opposite of all of this? Well, we're confused, we're indecisive, we try this, we try that, da 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 da. So what would be the opposite of that? Well, it's really very basic and simple. What we believe works, right? And I have the card in my body talk deck that says, I believe, please tell me that whatever I ingest is good for me. Like, tell me whatever I ingest is beneficial to my body. So, and I know, there have been people who survive on donuts and lose weight. Like, they eat donuts 24/7 and lose weight. Now, you can't do that if you don't believe that that's possible. But, maybe it is actually that simple, and that's why the Lucys made it so damn complicated and made so many different diets and stuff, is because the truth of the matter is, whatever we believe, it'll be. If we believe that we should just eat fruits and that's it, and we just passionately believe that that's going to help us lose weight and feel completely fit and energized, awesome. Then that's the ticket. Everything is a placebo and everything is energy. So if you believe that something will fix you, or will, energize you, or will give you, like, whatever it is, then that's it. And I'm getting a yes. So it doesn't matter. We can believe that there are tons of nutrients in a donut. We can believe that. We can believe that we can get anything. Why can't we get anything from the food that we eat? There are no special foods and then less special foods. Not if we are so much more capable of creating that which we desire. We just have to take a moment, reflect on the food we're about to eat, and fill it with love. Fill it with everything that we need. Just believe with all your heart that whatever you're eating is exactly what your body needs. And that your body can create minerals and nutrients from whatever it is you're eating, even if it's lacking. Or if you believe that, you'll be drawn to whatever food that, something that's in that food. I know a lot of people, I kind of think it's cool to eat this way, but just be like, okay, well, one day I'm craving corn, and the next day I'm craving pizza, and the next day I'm craving carrots, and that's just what my body needs. If that's what you believe, then keep that up. But again, it's all about what you believe, not what's right for everybody. And so just follow your own body's guidance and what it wants, and what you create. Be more empowered. Be more empowered. There's no answer outside of you that's going to be like, okay, that's going to be the ticket, because it, just, you make it what it is. Anything that I eat or ingest or drink is incredibly beneficial to me, and see what happens. So yeah, I feel like he's just doing a lot of experimenting right now in a really good way. Okay, geez, I forget which one that was. That was big and small, I think. Big and small. Okay, so the last one is T, capital T-E-A with a period. All right, so what do we get with T? Trusting your intuition. My life is truly guided. Okay, so I feel like he's feeling inspired, and he's starting to understand that the ticket to his freedom lies in listening to the intuitive promptings. Maybe you even did something recently that was really inspiring, and you listened to your gut and you acted on it. And I'm thinking that he's thinking that that's brave and courageous of you. I see the mountains in the background. Like maybe you trekked through some mountains or something to get where you got, and he's just like, you know what? That's the ticket. That's the key to everything. Is just when you feel intuitively guided and inspired to do something, you just act on it immediately and don't waste any time. And it's true. So, I mean, that's being led by God. That's letting God's will be done, because God will show you its will. You just really do have to go with the flow. You gotta go with the river. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's right. Just wanted to make sure I got to everybody. So he's listening to his intuition. He's more in tune to subtle things, and he's going with the flow. And I just saw a great victory ahead. I feel like he's feeling really optimistic, and he's kind of excited to live that way. He's just like, I've never really done that. I'm just going to sit here and just wait for something to strike. And then once the inspiration strikes, I'm going to jump on it. I'm going to do it. It's kind of like that movie, Yes Man. I'm just going to say yes to everything. Whatever that is, I'm just going to say yes to everything. But it's more like I'm going to say yes to whatever it is I feel the universe is urging me to do. I'm just going to say yes and just do it and quit making excuses for why I can't. I'm going to believe that anything is possible as long as I'm aligned with God and I'm being directed by God. What could possibly, stop me or what could possibly be bad about that? Okay, so a message for the feminines. Message for the divine feminines who are in separation from the one you love. I just got, be conscious of your breath and sensations in your body more often. Okay, so stay more present in the moment as you're walking around and doing and talking and playing with your pets and whatever you're doing. Be conscious of your breath and be conscious of what your body is doing and feeling in any given moment so that you can split your attention between form and spirit. Good people who've endured tough times are the saints and warriors of tomorrow. It's all happening to make you impenetrable. It's not these things that happen to you, the really tough stuff that you've had to go through has not been in vain. It's all to make you stronger so that others can lean on you as well. It's not happening to break you down and weaken you. It's happening to build you up to be so strong that nothing can touch you. You need to remove that toxic person or group from your life if you want things to change. So if you've been contemplating whether, a friend of yours is healthy enough, a friendship of yours is healthy enough, then it's probably not, or if you feel like, maybe you've been, people pleasing just because you know that somebody needs you or something like that. Like just whatever you've been contemplating when it comes to friendships or even family. I mean, and I just said this in the Q&A, but if you're friends with or family with anybody who doesn't support you or doesn't in the way that you need, if they're not being understanding, compassionate, empathetic, helping you heal, helping you grow, inspiring you, exciting you, making you feel good about yourself, that kind of thing. Like if they're not contributing to your life, well, then make your life more peaceful and uncomplicated and do something else. Do something else. Find a new friendship or just don't talk to them and just have more peace. You're on the right path to making your dreams come true. They said in doing so, you're going to expedite things by doing so. You just line up with a similar vibration. If the person isn't a similar vibration, then you're kind of wasting your time and energy. Learning how to self-soothe is a mandatory step to liberation and loving others in a healthy way. Rely only on yourself. So maybe you thought that you needed that person, but it's just codependency. You don't need that person or those people. It could be a group of people too, or your family. So liberate yourself and learn to only rely on yourself. Whenever you have any kind of a problem or anything to work through, maybe, pick a pad of paper up and do Byron Katie or go do EFT or something. Learn to not rely on somebody else to make you feel better. You just take it to paper, and that's the most empowering thing you can do. You should take more time to quiet your mind and tune into the subtle world. We have your back. Your mind can only play tricks on you. So maybe just sit quietly sometimes and just ask Spirit. Maybe before you go to bed or when you first wake up, or maybe after your lunch, or whatever you feel like. Just make sure you're taking time sometimes to just sit and ask Spirit. And the answer may not come to you right when you're sitting quietly asking for it, but you may feel tingling on your head or on your temples, or you might feel your heart swell. But just let it be what it is. Don't judge it, and the answer will come to you, and then you'll be like, oh, this must have been that tingling yesterday, or this must have been what was happening when I felt that feeling on top of my head. Sometimes downloads take, a day or two to come through. But when it comes through, you feel all inspired and you get a great idea. You have some kind of an epiphany and you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So, maybe even ask God, what can I do to help right now? What is it that I can do? Please place that thing on my heart. Because our world could sure use as much help as we can give. So, and we're both, the masculines and feminines are both learning to put each other in each other's shoes and be gracious and support each other instead of just thinking all about ourselves. Think about our world. Think about those truckers. Think about everything that's going on right now that you're hearing about. Do you ever stop and sit down and put the world in your hands and just bless the world? Just send love to it? You probably do. But maybe do it more regularly, or if you're not doing it, this is a little nudge from the universe. Pour your love out to the world. Pour your love out to helping everyone find solutions that they need and that their needs be fulfilled at this time. And that everyone be taken care of, and that everyone's led away from harm, if at all possible. Now, some people are fated to go through certain things, and they chose to do that at this time, so we can't really judge them for making that choice, and it is their choice. But you have the choice how you respond to that, So just be proud of yourself, and feel good about your own decisions, and make decisions that make you feel good about the decisions you're making. And that's all you can really do. You gotta kind of mind your own business as to what other people are doing. In a way, I know that it's concerning to think that, these other people and the decisions they're making could impact your world. But what can you personally do about it? Well, you can shift and heal yourself and your attitudes toward things. You can get involved. There are things you can do. You can talk about it on your channel. You can make people aware of things. You can write a book. There's so many different things that you can do and ways you can respond. But try to respond in a productive way, not complaining and not being scared or fearful, but really trying to live to inspire the hell out of yourself. Who cares what anyone else thinks, but just inspire the shit out of yourself. How can I shock myself with how incredible I am, to yourself, for yourself only. What can I do today, or what can I do right now that's going to just, blow my mind? Didn't even know I was capable of doing such a thing. And as you're doing that, you're going to also be helping your masculines to get in that same kind of energy. And now at the bottom of the deck, if you had any idea just how protected you are, you wouldn't spend another wasted moment on worry. Wow. God's got your back, you guys. Just go inspire. Go inspire yourself. All right. So drop your shoulders, take a deep breath. I'm going to send you guys protection. I'm going to surround you with love and peace and protection against anybody trying to interfere with your connection. And anything else Spirit urges me to do while I'm doing the light language. Okay. Hamana te insasi shi'in haike. Ha pompo hama ana ai. Titi hinsa hashi in pomama ins. I la hana o pomama ana ai. They said that the reason that you do the exercise where you put your hand on your heart and say, I love you, is because it drops you back down into your heart. We tend to overthink things when we're in our ego, or we're in scarcity or fight or flight or lack or any of those negative feelings, or anger or complaining or any of that stuff. When we put our hand on our heart, it shifts the energy back to where it could be, to be empowered, and also to hear the guidance from our higher selves more readily. So that's where you want to make your decisions, and that's where you want to act from. Okay, guys, have yourselves a beautiful February. Feel free to comment below on any awesome news you guys have to share, or just text me, send me a message on WhatsApp or Telegram, and I'll be happy to share whatever you share with me on Instagram. I won't share you or your masculine's name, but just share with me anything encouraging so that we can really be inspiring each other at this time. I send you guys a big giant hug, and I'll talk to you later.